column this afternoon. So you support the idea, for instance, let's say a company, and I won't call anybody out, I'm looking, but I won't do that.
Yes, I support it.
A company hiring off-duty police officers for a neighborhood to make a neighborhood safer, whether they have a company there or not, but it makes Detroit safer.
If that was a decision that company wanted to make, I certainly would support it. Again, I support security officers or security guards working in neighborhoods in concert with the Detroit Police Department. I support our community members out on radio patrol. But first and foremost, I support our on-duty Detroit police officers and making sure that they continue to receive proper training and that we have proper staffing. You know, let's face it, one of the things that I'm fighting against, and while I can tell you that we're continuing to hire, and we have roughly 200 new officers in the academy right now, what I'm fighting against is something called attrition. We attrit out probably an average of 15 officers a month who retire, who take on other jobs. It's no secret that some of our officers go into other police departments to pay more and have better benefits. And so it's kind of difficult to compete with that. And so we have to continue, and I know the mayor is committed to making sure that our officers are paid equitably to other police departments, especially working in the city of Detroit that does have probably one of the more challenging environments. And so, but again, going forward, I think with all the development, you talk about alleys here, Microsoft is moving back, Under Armour's here, Nike, those are all great things. But they're here because they feel the city is turning around, they feel the city is safer, and police officers count.
Now, are we facing a situation like the public schools are, where there's going to be a huge loss of personnel? You know, we've got a bunch of teachers retiring at one time. Are you looking at a point where you might be dangerously low?
Well, we are low. In fact, I was just looking the other day at the number of police officers that we have lost since I've gotten here. Our police department is not the size it was even 5 years ago. But yet our population is coming back, and we're a smaller police department. It's very interesting when you look at the work that we're doing today. We're doing more with less. It's about efficiencies. Now, it's no secret that I've taken an exhaustive look at how the police officers are deployed. So by way of example, historically in the Detroit Police Department, sworn officers worked as dispatchers. And so when I returned to the city, I thought that was odd, because every city I've worked, dispatchers were civilian staff dispatch centers. So we are in the process, we continue to be in the process of civilianizing that function, because when we civilianize a job, that's putting another police officer back to the field. And so really, when you look at the days of old and the stories about how top-heavy this department was, the fact that each station had a police officer engaged in what was called vehicle maintenance. Why would I need a gun-toting, sworn police officer to do maintenance on a police vehicle?
You would.
You just don't need that. And so it's just a matter of an outside view. And I'm not being critical of my predecessors, because a lot of times when you've been other places, you don't see the world through the same lens. And while I may have started my policing career here in the 70s, I left after 2.5 years. And so I really did get a chance to see the world from a different view, and it's greatly benefited me on my return, because that's a lot of what we're doing that they're doing in other places.
Mm-hmm. Now, I can tell